Okay, this is going to be a very important lecture here, so you want to make sure you pay really close attention. And if you can, I would suggest having your eBay store logged in. That way you can kind of follow along, pause the video, and adjust the settings accordingly. We are going to show you basically how to optimize your store settings to help you increase your sales. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Now, you want to log in, and at the top right hand corner you'll see the My eBay tab. You're going to go ahead and click on that, and when you're there you're going to go ahead and look for the account tab right here and click on that. Now that's going to take you to this page right here. Okay, the part on the website that you want to click on now is site preferences, so click on that right there, and it will take you to your store settings and preferences. Okay, now there's a lot of settings and preferences. I will show you the most important things to set up so that way you maximize your sales. So it should look something like this. I actually created a new account so that way it will match with what yours looks like. My real account is more advanced and has a lot more features. When you're brand new, eBay is going to throw a bunch of messages at you and kind of not show you all the features and functions, especially when you don't have a paying store, which we'll talk about at a later date. But for now, you want to go ahead and click on selling preferences, and there's a little button that says show. Click on that, and you want to make sure it looks like this. So it says here, show product ratings on your listings if available. You're going to go ahead and just leave that as yes. Show the exact quantity of items in your listing if the quantity exceeds 10. I would change this to yes. Okay, here's the reason why. So display the exact quantity in your listings. When you're selling and listing items on your store, you're usually going to be putting only one item or maybe two items in stock for that listing at a time. Okay, and in my experience, I believe it creates a sense of urgency when someone goes to your store and they see that there's only one or two items left. Okay, so that's why you want to make sure that you change that to yes, because if you leave it as no, when they go to your store, they don't know how many of those items that you have quote unquote left. Okay, so like I said, when you're starting off, you're only going to be putting one or two items available for that particular listing, so it'll just show that product A only has one left or two left or whatever inventory you put for that item amount. Okay, now the next section says use the out of stock option. I would click this as yes. I ran my store with this option as no for a long time, and just trust me, you want to click this as yes. It will save you a lot more work and a lot more money down the line, because basically if you list an item for sale and you put the quantity as 1, and when someone goes and buys it, now your listing will be deactivated. Okay, what you have to do is you're going to have to go back in there and then relist that item, and a lot of times eBay is going to charge you anywhere between 5 cents to 30 cents for relisting that item. When you click on this option, let's say your listing has a quantity of 1. When a customer buys that item, the listing will still remain active, but the quantity will be 0. So now you don't have to relist that item. All you have to do is you just go back into that listing and update the quantity from 0 to 1. So what this option again does is it will just keep your listings active even when quote unquote it sells out. So that way you don't have to relist it. It's going to save you money on fees, and again, it will save you a lot of work. Okay, the next section is payment from buyers. Go ahead and click on that. Use checkout. Leave that as yes. Offer PayPal my listings. You want to go ahead and just click edit here. So use checkout recommended. So you leave that as check mark. PayPal enables you to receive payments quickly. Offer PayPal as a payment in all my listings. Tell buyers that I prefer PayPal payments. Click on that. Include my items when buyers pay all their sellers at once using PayPal. You leave that. And you're not going to do the local pickup, so you can leave this all blank and go ahead and click submit. All right. Now let's go back to my eBay preferences. Okay, accept credit, debit card payments, leave that as no unless you have a merchant set up with like authorized.net or something like that. But other than that, you can leave that as no. Use sales tax table, you can leave that as no. Okay, now shipping preferences. You can click on this. Okay, now this is really important here. You want to make sure that you change the global shipping program to yes. All right, and I'll explain how that's done in a second. What you're going to do is it's going to ask you to enroll. So you want to scroll down and click on Start Now because you want to offer the global shipping on all your active listings. Click yes. Okay. So now you're going to go back to My eBay. Essentially, what the global shipping program allows you to do is it allows you to sell your items in other countries without actually having to ship it there. It's an amazing program where eBay has their own warehouse in Kentucky at the moment, and you don't change anything that you're doing. You don't even have to worry about calculating the postage or shipping fees or import or tax duties or anything like that. eBay handles all that for you. So your item will actually be listed in other eBay sites countries. And once the item sells, eBay will give you a address with a unique shipment reference number. And all you do is you do the same exact thing as if you were shipping to someone in New York or California. You ship it to eBay's address. eBay, once they receive it, they will actually go ahead and reship that item back to the customer in their according country. So you want to make sure that is check marked and is active, because for me in my personal business, about 40% of my sales are in other countries. They're not domestic here in the US. So again, if you don't click on this and make it active, you could be potentially missing out on 30, 40, 50% of new sales. Okay, so make sure that that's there. So again, shipping preferences, yes. Also under shipping preferences, right here where it says exclude shipping locations from your listing, you want to go ahead and edit this, and I'll show you what to do here. And here are the countries or the locations or regions you want to exclude people from being able to buy from, okay? Because most sources that you deal with here in the United States don't ship to Alaska or Hawaii or the United States Proctorate states like Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, etc. You want to go ahead and make sure you check mark those. So what that's going to do is when someone is from those areas, they're not going to be able to order your items, and you won't have to be responsible for shipping that item, okay? And then go ahead and click on this button right here, override my shipping exclusions for global shipping program eligible items, and you are all set here. Click on apply. Okay, so you're all set here. All right, next section, you want to make sure you leave that as no. If you click on yes, that means all your photos will now be in eBay's database and other people can use it. So leave that as no. Share eBay with friends, you don't have to worry about that. Buyer requirements, unpaid item assistant, we're going to go down here. Okay, this will save you a little bit more work and time. Right now it's no. What this means is when someone goes and buys your item and they haven't paid you yet, okay, you're still responsible for paying that fee. Now, if the customer did not pay you, you have to file an unpaid item case, which eBay will go ahead and refund you for that fee, okay? When you click on yes, this basically authorizes eBay to go ahead and do that automatically for you. So that way you don't have to do it manually, because doing it manually can take a few minutes out of your day. So go ahead and just put it on yes. It's really easy. Open a case payment if it hasn't been received after 4 days. So if someone hasn't paid you after 4 days of saying that they want your item, eBay will go ahead and send them an unpaid item reminder. And if they don't pay again, then they get a strike on their account. The case will automatically close and you'll get refunded your fees. All right. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So those are the most important things you want to make sure that you have done right away so that way you can maximize the sales that you generate with your eBay store. Again, if you missed something, you want to make sure you go back to this lecture, watch it again, and make sure you have every single setting that we talked about optimized for your own store. All right? With that, we will see you in the next lecture.